laying that one right out the middle. His forehand out the middle, Lin Jong-hoon has been just absolutely mind-boggling. And it's got to be deep because Fan will come over and create an angle. You know he will.
Right now, only 4 of the last 16 points to the world number 1. But a quick one here, and maybe a necessary one. We saw earlier, 2 points in a row from Chung Hong against Sun Ling Sha, and then 9 in a row for the world number 1. Fang Zhendong does now what he did against Lin Shidong. He took more initiative. He's really driving himself to follow quickly, get aggressive. There are a lot of ways to win a point in table tennis. But Lin Jong-hoon will not keep the pressure off. He will not let go of any opportunity he gets to attack here.
Không.
Tight serve, heavy underspin.
Sao?
Ổng con ổng đi làm về khuya, cho nên ổng thấy vậy ổng mới khóa cái cửa trái lại. Ổng để cho nó về nó mở nó vô, còn ổng đi cửa sau. Ổng đi cửa sau ổng vô mà nó cưa cái ổ khóa.
Back end of the table for Fang Zhendong.
Đi gì trả dưới không?
Just enough, and there was no question about it. I feel like that was a very nice, polite applause from the crowd. Almost as if to say, we're sorry, but we're also happy at the same time.
With the difference that inch, less than an inch made between 3-0 and 2-4.
You're speaking my language.
It would be strange commentary if I wasn't, wouldn't it?
Well, in terms of the metric system, it might be acceptable, understandable. I try to globalize myself a little bit in that way.
You do a great job.
Thanks. Right now, Fang Zhendong has to do a great job here because Lin Jong-hoon, who wins this next point, has the momentum as they switch sides. Good opportunity. It's never easy, not against the world number 1. But I feel like considering the points and the quality of the points that we've seen, this one was a little bit more reasonably counterable than usual for Lin Jong-hoon. More points apiece. After this point, players will switch sides to keep that balance. How did you feel? I want to hear.
Well, I just got to mention that it's 11 PM local time here. This favours the Engine Quinn regardless, because either one of these two are going later to bed.
Well said. If you're just tuning in, the Engine Quinn is already waiting in the men's singles final for the winner here. Tense moments. Fang Zhendong leading 5-4. Down the line, the open forehand side of the table, the crowd roaring here with this shot.
An epic forehand from Fang Zhendong. Amazing use of the waist that we've seen against some of the world's best to play the winner. That was a forehand. I mean, he uses the back brace. Is that to stop it from bending too far?
Is he wearing one now? Good question. Oh, just in general, you mean?
Yeah.
Got it. He has dealt with a lot of pressure on that back. We saw it in Singapore. Next, 6-4.
So his best share of it, Van Bommel his best share of it in this deciding game. He could have gone 2 points down and another one there. Feel for him in a sense.
You saw her fingers crossed in hope, wishing that Fang Zhendong will pull on through. For any little bit of luck that can fall his way, whether it's net and edge, or simply just a better performance of the two? Well, that was a pretty unusual touch shot there from Bong Jong inside the table. It looked almost like the Timo backhand. Take a look here. And it was a forehand just very open in front of that elbow.
Yeah. The elbow has to be so close to the body there so he can't produce as much spin.
Nice to have a timeout right about now. 2 points between them. Again, body language a little tough to hear. Do you think they're trying to exploit the wide forehand?
Well, I saw one how they're signaling the backhand, and I think he's saying try and get him out wide to then open up an easier angle for you to go for, or more open angle, should I say, with no one home.
To the wide forehand.
Yeah, or the wide backhand, depending on which way he tries to pin it. But
Maybe started there, getting leading off balance. Let's see. 5-7. Oh, inside out forehand, dangerously off the side of the table there. Just exiting as wide as can be, a brushing shot.
fantastic composure, a bit of topspin there, and could deal with it with the forehand.
1 point game now. That was an outstanding save. I thought he was burned. He had pre-committed to attacking that serve. Watch how uncomfortable that ball is, and he still plays it to the shorter side of the table. That is IQ next level. Puts him back up by 2 instead of 7-7, and he's got the serves on Jundong.
Slower, more shallow flick.
Yeah, that spin shot where it is on the table, you described it perfectly, and it breaks the rhythm. Fong Zhendong, by the time the ball gets to him, it's down at knee height. While he can make it, the percentages are going to be less than if it's in a more comfortable region of that giant sweet spot. 1 point game. Ripping backhand inside the table, he gets the serves back at 8-all. Now this would be an interesting time to see that statistic about serve percentages, but you have to wonder, typically it's to your advantage to have the serve on your side. It's the only shot in the game. And here they are, Lim Jong-hoon, the better of his serves. He was at 53% for most of the match, and it's dropped significantly recently. Lim Jong-hoon still less than half, but better than Fong Zhendong. And it's a big point here. This means Fong Zhendong is either going to have 2 match points when the serves come back, or have the last 2 serve combination at 9-all in the decider, game number 7.
Really had to play through the fingers there. Lim Jong-hoon can't believe it, and now the Chinese players and coaches are on their feet for that.
The rip in the open forehand, it's the combination we discussed. Deep to the backhand, and look at everybody. Imagine right now if Lim Jong-hoon were able to turn this around. It is 2 match points for Fong Zhendong. The world number 13 needs these wins to get the recognition that I feel he deserves. But Fong Zhendong, a determined man, world number 1, has the serve and 2 match points. 1 saved. I mean, he played that so much to the end of the racket, very risky.
and very good, because that's the first time I've seen him do that serve all match. He brought it out there.
That's a great point. Every once in a while, just mixing it up with something that the opponent hasn't seen yet and catch them off guard. Well handled. One more match point. Xiaopeng takes it 11-9 in the seventh. What a brilliant performance. Gutsy, some of the rallies of the tournament, the entire event, right here in this individual match. Look at the fans. They cannot contain themselves. That was absolutely a heart-pumping, nerve-wracking, nail-biting experience in the world number one. Pulls through. He is cool under pressure. And a handshake to a rival and the coach of an outstanding player in Lim Jong-hoon. Almost makes his way back in. 8-8 in Game 7 could have been the turning point, but Game number 4 was really crucial. And that racket flip, you can understand the frustration, but on this side, the celebration and the absolute relief from the man way out in front of the rest of the world. Here's a chance to look at the stats. Guess what? 66. He outscored